What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. Here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar pretty much had co-signed uh, Wilt Chamberlain's success when it came to the women. Now, it's no secret if you really don't know anything about Wilt. I know that several people, who are older might know, but Wilt had once said that he had slept with about 20,000 women in his life. And in Kareem's book, Becoming Kareem, Kareem had detailed the success with the women that Wilt and actually co-signed for Wilt. Uh, According to Kareem, Wilt had a great personality and actual game in the aspect when it came to women, and a lot of numerous women recognized that and appreciated that. This is what Kareem had to say. He said, "Quote: One of his lessons that never quite took hold was how to deal with girls. Every time I visited Wilt, there was another beautiful woman. Not only were they gorgeous, but they were friendly, funny, and kind." Let me stop right there. That means pretty much flirtatious and willing to give up that WAP. Y'all go ahead and y'all make the acronym for WAP. I'm not going to say it. Trying to clean up things. Let me continue. It would have been easy to dismiss Wilt's success with the women as merely the result of his wealth and celebrity, but the women I met seemed to genuinely enjoy his company. You know, he also said that, quote, he was outgoing and generous, loved to laugh, always knew what to say. Basically, he was exact the exact opposite of me. And a shout out to the brother too, Rob, because he had talked about how you know the difference, right? Uh, what's it called? Kareem wasn't like I think Big Mike was saying that he wasn't no rah 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 type of guy. He wasn't he was more serious. He said he tried to copy Wilt's style, but to be suave and sophisticated, I just didn't have that in me. He said I was shy and quiet and I avoided the spotlight. I was respectful with girls, polite, non-aggressive to the point of never making any move. This is coming from Kareem, y'all. Now, listen, you know, I know y'all probably looking at this picture and everything. You like, oh man, he would, white girls and all this other stuff, swirl and stuff like that. Look, take your mind off of that for just a second, okay? So, listen, if you like, a particular type of woman or whatever, to each is their own. You know what I'm saying? I don't get into all of that. What I am gonna say though is that look, there have been a lot of rumors about Will Chamberlain and how many women he was with and how many women he slept with and everything like that. And to this day, I haven't heard anybody, you know, say that they believe it. Me, I actually believe it. And look, you got a guy who is competitive on the court who was going at him, and he could have actually said, "Nah, Wilt didn't do it," but he he actually co-signed for Wilt and how many women he had been with. You know what I'm saying? So I know some of y'all might not, like this topic or anything like that, but I thought it was a good topic because look, y'all think that these NBA players, man, are not getting hit up by women on a daily basis. It was happening back then, no matter how uh prehistoric that you may think it was, because let's let's not make any mistake about it, okay? Uh, the culture of drugs, sex, pornography, you know what I'm saying, orgies, you know what I'm saying, alcohol, all that other stuff, it still went on. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as is going on right now. Guys turning up, wanting to listen. Guys are so competitive. You know what I'm saying? That they make bets on how many women that they could get. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Wilt was probably doing the same thing amongst himself. But I mean, when you're a larger than life figure, like Wilt or like Kareem or Magic or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, Magic gonna be hit with that reputation because of the personal side of things. Even Jordan and Pippen and all those other guys, you pretty much can get any woman that you want. And it's funny that I'm talking about this, you know what I'm saying? Because while we on the subject, many people are criticizing, Scotty. They call him Scotty simping. Look, I'm like this. A lot of people, when it comes to a marriage, it's it's a lot of things that you have to take into account. Everybody just think, oh, well, you know what, man, I'm just gonna leave her. You know what I'm saying? Skip all that and stuff like that, not realizing that in that marriage, um, it's a couple things that you have to take a look at. These guys, this girl and this woman and this man might have been, you know, great friends before getting together and everything. It might have even been best friends to the point where if they saw each other with another woman or another man or something like that, it really didn't bother them, before they actually took things to another level and went steady and then eventually went to a marriage. So you have to look at it from that aspect. That friendship will always be there no matter what. So when you say hurtful things to each other and when you go through, a storm or whatever, and going through the trials and tribulations or whatever, that bond is always going to be thought about. Now another thing is that, you also got to look the obvious. If you have kids with each other, it's easy for us to sit up here, like the situation that's going on with Liza pimping, and yeah, I said pimping, and then also the situation with Steph Curry's, with Dell, and Steph Curry's mom. You know, it's easy for us to sit up there and be the outside looking in and judge and stuff, but we're talking about guys that have created generational wealth, or at least have tried. In Dell's case, his son has probably made more money than him now. But we're looking at the money that's involved, and we're also looking at the aspect of what's the stakes here in terms of, okay, their children, and even though that their children are gone, or grown, gone, and on their own and everything, they still have to be around each other because, okay, that's my mom and that's my dad. We have siblings involved. Uh, in-laws are involved. Friends are involved and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is basically it's kind of like you're forced to be around each other, right? Then also what you also have to take into account too is that, you know some of these people that are in marriages together have businesses with one another. They have businesses, they've signed contracts, beyond the marriage and everything, and you know they're owed this or that. They have names on one another. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people have, their power of attorneys on some things and stuff like that. So that's another thing that you have to look at too, in terms of the legalities involved. And it's easy for people to just say, "Oh man, get up out of there" and stuff like that, not realizing that you get out of that marriage or whatever. Guess what? Your name is still on this or that, and their name is still on this or that. So whatever that they do, and they put your name on something or whatever, they could get this or they could get that, especially when y'all haven't fully uh fulfilled the divorce, you know. But I touched on that on just a little bit, but and I didn't mean to you know digress or anything. But this is the thing, man, right here. Like, guys are competitive, man. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you talk about the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, you know what I'm saying, boxing, you know what I'm saying, soccer. Every guy is competitive. That's why you play the sport. You play to win, and you want to win at all costs. And Will obviously wanted to win with the ladies too. Every man, well, at least if you're a young, raging bull, whose hormones are going through the roof and everything, you should want to win. Your every aspect should be like, okay, look, I'm trying to, pretty much sleep with the best looking women that are out here. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's funny. Shout out to everything boxing and sports with the homie Keon. If you haven't subbed to the homie everything boxing and sports, go sub to his channel. All right. He made this point though when he was talking about the situation where a boxer was being accused of sexual misconduct or what have you, and pretty much, he pulled his thing out or whatever, and she was uncomfortable and everything after they had been kissing and everything. But he made this point right here in reference to that when they was talking about that, right? He said pretty much that a lot of guys that are, it's easy for us to sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, well you should be focused on your respective sport. You shouldn't be focused on women or money or and lifestyle stuff like that." But when you're and I'm talking about men, mainly. When you're a man and you're just getting into your prime between like 22, 23, 24, 25, you just entering it into your prime, your sexual appetite is at the highest right then, as well as your appetite to want to get the luxuries of life too. So he was saying that basically it's easy for you to sit up there and tell a 24 or 25, uh, 23, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25-year old to to not focus on a beautiful woman, and the lustful desires of things. But you cannot fathom how that guy is feeling or whatever, and your whole ambition, like everything was saying, or Keon was saying, he said that your whole ambition and some of these guys' ambition is to make a lot of money doing what they do or whatever, to be able to get the best luxuries of life. And one of those luxuries just happens to be women and the lustful eye. And look, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, and they won't admit it either. Uh, you got guys that are amongst it. Look, I don't get into all that. Oh, man of spear and woman spear, all that other. I don't get into all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Look, we can sit around here and act like, okay, you don't want to get that wop. Don't even act like that. And I'm talking about the guys that are heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? Men. You can act like you don't want that WAP, and for the ladies, you can act like you don't want the D. You know what I'm saying? But it's the whole truth. You want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to get, the best women. You know what I'm saying? At least while you're single at that point in time. If you're married, this don't really apply to you. If you're in a serious relationship, this don't apply to you. You know. But for Will, he deserved to do whatever he wanted to do. Just like Shaq, he deserved to do whatever he wanted to do. As it pertained to him being single. Now, when you married, kids, white picket fence and the third, there's a so you got to play by a whole another set of rules, and it's a whole nother ball game. But I'm not trying to get all polo motivation on you or nothing like that. But I just thought that this was interesting because you got a guy that's competing on you on the court who I'm talking about Kareem. He could have said talked negatively about Wilt and said, "Oh, no, he didn't do this," but he pretty much co-signed for Wilt and said basically that the reason why he was successful is because of his charisma. You know what I'm saying? He had charisma, off the court. Now, look, this is my last point right here. I want to say this too. It's a lot of you that are very, uh, critical of some of these guys, man. That they get these IG thoughts and they buy into it. Like the PJ Washington or like a Bobo and everything like that. But see, what you don't understand that a lot of these women are very seductive. They use their body for anything. Look, a guy that sees a big booty and titties or whatever, and they see it online, and she's telling you, all you gotta do is just fly out here. This is yours, everything like that. And they want it. They young. You know what I'm saying? They in their early 20s or whatnot. They got all this money. They could pretty much catch a flight anywhere, really, really quick. It's easy for you to criticize guys like that are doing that or whatever, and then they fall into the temptation. Next thing you know, they end up becoming a victim of being sent. But see, a lot of these guys, man, that might have never been successful with the lady, they might have been successful on the court or on the field or on the sport and everything. But like, sorry about that. What like Kareem was saying, he was a shy, quiet guy, you know what I'm saying, that really didn't have no game like that or whatever, and didn't know how to talk to women or whatever. Well, hey, that's a lot of athletes that feel the same way or whatever, and their only way to talk to a woman, like, look, I was taught to look if you go and talk to somebody and you really truly want it, you have to go after, what you want, you know what I'm saying? And also you also gotta let the women, come to you too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't realize that, you forcing the issue sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that could do more harm than good, but like I said, man, there are a lot of women that are different. Some women like a guy that's real aggressive. There are a lot of women that like to be chased, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of women that like also I met a woman one time and she said she liked to be ignored. She said it was you know, she liked the catch, so to speak. But I'm not trying to get into that. But basically, what I'm saying is in reference to these guys that you see that are being simped or whatever online, and with these IG thoughts and on social media stuff like that, and they're falling into a victim of temptation and stuff like that. You don't know that some of these guys they never were groomed to talk to a woman. They didn't know the things to say. They lacked the confidence or whatever. While they might be larger than life. You know what I'm saying? Like Bobo, he tall as shit. Pretty much have been taller than everybody and Amazon over everybody since all throughout school and stuff. So he's gonna be naturally bigger than everybody. So of course he's gonna gain that attention or whatever. But what you don't know is that that guy might lack confidence or whatever. I know this, like I was listen. I wasn't bred that way. You know, um, it's funny because Little Flip in the interview he said that he wasn't he wasn't stage he wasn't fearful of big crowds. He didn't have any stage fright and all this other stuff. My mom did the same thing to me early. You know, she shell shocked me early or whatever. Like, okay, look, I had to go to church or whatever and stand and talk in front of people, things of that nature. And it's funny, I'm talking about church right now. I should have my ass in church or whatever. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Don't judge me. Look, now, look, she told me, okay, look, you can run up and down the court or run up and down the field and play all these games and stuff like that and be good at it while, you know, people are looking at you or whatever. And I was like, well, that's because I'm paying attention to the basket and the people that are in front of me on the court or whatever. I don't have to look to the side unless I'm looking at the coach or I'm looking at somebody else or something like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, she was like, okay, how do you expect? And this is like me at an early age. How do you expect to talk to anybody if you can't even face them and look them in the eye and all this other stuff? You know what I'm saying? And so I understood that early. You know what I'm saying? And so she put me in front of people to be able to talk to people because, like, it's a difference between talking to like maybe one or two people in a room and you're having to, you know, give a speech or, you know, even some people that have to, you know, do a debate in front of people or something like that, like one or two people, as opposed to a whole, let's say a big old auditorium or even a stadium or, you know what I'm saying? You rocking out at a concert or something like that, and these people are facing in front of you, and some of these people are going to really really love you, and some of these people are going to really can't really stand you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to perform regardless. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to even see your demise, but see, I understood that early, so that's why like me being able to talk to a woman or go up to a woman, I never had no problem with that. Matter of fact, I don't even like the online stuff. I think it's like, you know, to me, like a woman respects you more if you at least the women that I've talked to, you know, they respect you more if you come at them because you know it's about confidence, you know. And I'm not trying to sit up here and give everybody game. If you want to take the game, hey, uh, I'll teach and preach all day, you know. But if you don't, hey, that's on you. But what I will say is that you know the reason why you know, a lot of those guys were successful, but you know, Wilt was because you know he had that factor, that it factor that Kareem was talking about. You know, there are guys right now in their 50s and 60s that don't know how to talk to women. That's why they go, you know, listen, I'm not judging nobody, right? There's a lot of men that they do a great job. They have businesses. They they have they're successful in whatever craft that they do. But a lot of them guys are single and everything because the only thing that prevents them from being successful with the woman is the fact that they don't have the know-how. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know how to, you know, talk to a woman or whatever. A lot of guys are taught, you know, how to persuade and seduce and you know manipulate and do all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Me, I don't get into all that. You know what I'm saying? Me, you know what I'm saying? It pretty much is what it is. Some of you are beta. You know what I'm saying? Some of you are alpha. You know, but Will obviously he was an alpha male. You know what I'm saying? While Kareem, he might have been a alpha male on the court, and with what he was doing and everything, he came off beta like when it came to females, and he pretty much was admitted. Now he might have been successful because Kareem had been successful too. But all I'm telling you is that there are men now to this day in their 50s and 60s that are successful. Some of them making six figures, some of them are making millions and everything, but they still don't know how to talk to a woman. It's just facts. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Uh, Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.